Hi, it's Mark, your medicine cork dork. Yesterday I talked about Bracchetto, which is a semi-sweet frizzante red wine from Italy. Today I'll be going over a grape that is used in some of the highest quality Italian wines, and that grape is Nebbiolo. So again, a little bit of a reminder as to why I'm doing these videos during this interesting part in world history, so to speak. Well, first off, essentially the majority of you have probably heard of the following like varietals, like Cabernet Sauvignon, Pinot Noir, Pinot Grigio, Chardonnay, Merlot, Riesling, Moscato. I, however, would like to introduce you to grapes that you've probably never even heard of. So, at the beginning of each video, I will remind you of a few things. First and foremost, that anyone can learn how to smell and taste wine. Like all foods, taste and smell are chemistry. So when we say that, for example, we're smelling blackberries or we're tasting crushed black pepper, we're not making this up. With time, you can train yourself to seek out individual smells. Swirl your wine glass, close your eyes, and when you think about some of the individual fruits or wood or flowers or minerals, etc., that you're smelling or tasting, just think about those things and write them down. That's how you learn how to appreciate wine. So, of course, at the beginning of every video, I'm going to go over several terms as well. For example, you already know whether or not a wine is dry or sweet. So going on to the body of wine. Body is the mouthfeel you have when you taste the wine. It's analogous to milk. If it feels like whole milk, that's a full-bodied wine. If it's like skim milk, it's light-bodied. And if it's 2% milk, it's medium-bodied. You can also guess the body based on the tears or legs that form on the glass after you swirl it. If the tears take a long time to form, it's a full-bodied wine, and if they come and go quickly, then it tends to be a light-bodied wine. So tannin. Tannin is the astringency you feel in your mouth that some wines have. It makes your tongue feel like it's sticking to the side of your teeth or to the roof of your mouth. If a wine is too tannic, you might make a face that's quite similar to this. So, yeah, I haven't done that quite yet in any of my videos, but you know that face, or you've seen that face, or you've definitely made that face. Acidity is how watery your mouth feels after swallowing. So the more watery your mouth feels is the higher the acidity. So all wines are acidic because they have a lower pH level than water. Water has 7, and wines tend to be in between like 3 to 4.5 or something percent, or on the pH scale. And this, of course, is probably something you went over in middle school or high school chemistry. Now, alcohol outside of the label can also be guessed by how much the wine burns at the top of your throat when it goes down. You can also guess how much alcohol is in the wine by how far away you can hold the glass before you can smell the wine. The further away, the higher the alcohol. So, for example, if you could guess the alcohol level, like, for example, of a Zinfandel, which, you know, you could probably smell when it's way far away, whereas a Moscato would be pretty much right up here to the glass. So that's before you can actually smell the wine itself. Okay. On to the grape itself. So Nebbiolo is primarily grown in the Piedmont region of Italy. So going out of our book Wine Folly, an inverted map, of course. This, you know, is Italy. And this right here, this blue section, is the Piedmont region. Now, to get even a little bit more specific, let's see, where is my... So, this purplish area right here, and even if you want to get even more specific, this purple area, dark purple area just south of this larger purple area, that's Barolo. and I'll be going into the significance of that as well. Um, so with Nebbiolo, I've had at least three different kinds of Nebbiolos that I can think of. I've had two Nebbiolo di Albas, which is again D apostrophe means of a particular city, so Nebbiolo di Alba, which means Nebbiolo of Alba. And I've also had at least one Lenghi Nebbiolo, and that's spelled Lenghe, and that's considered lower quality Nebbiolo. But perhaps the most treasured location for Nebbiolo is the Barolo region of Italy. Now, Barolos are not cheap by any means. If you're looking for a Barolo, you're going to probably spend at least $45. And another fun fact when it comes to Nebbiolo is that Mexico is the second largest producer of the grape, and I guess that kind of makes sense given the region and the climate, so to speak, that they both kind of share. And Mexico, in fact, is starting to see an increase in serious production of wine in the country. So Nebbiolo is the is harvested in October when it gets really foggy in the Lenghi Piedmont region of Italy. Now, another fun fact is that the most famous early wine critics, Pliny the Elder of the 1st century AD, noted that Nebbiolo wine had exceptional quality. Of course, it wasn't called that back in those days, but historians determined that it most definitely was the grape that was being referred to. In fact, Nebbiolo has maintained its reputation among wine critics throughout the centuries up until this very day, which is pretty much no easy feat. Considering tastes have changed over time, one would assume that a grape would lose popularity, but Nebbiolo is definitely one that apparently has defeated the test of time, for lack of better terms. So, what can you expect from Nebbiolo? Well, Nebbiolo is a full-bodied red wine. It's incredibly dry wine, and what some would perhaps consider an offensive amount of tannin. We're talking Nebbiolo is very acidic, and it has a medium-high amount of alcohol, typically. So the wine is meant to be drunk in an aroma collector wine glass, should you have one. I know that I just have like some universal wine glasses. Now, Nebbiolo is supposed to be served at 55 to 60 degrees, which is also known as cellar temperature. Should you have the patience, this is where Nebbiolo really hits it big. Nebbiolo can be stored anywhere from 5 to 25 years. So 25 years obviously is an incredibly long time. So if you do have that kind of patience, that might just well be worth the payoff. When you age a wine over time like that, the level of tannin tends to go down. Now, another thing to point out is you can spend around $20 to $25 on a Nebbiolo grape if you're Nebbiolo grape wine, if you're going for a Lenghi Nebbiolo. Again, that's on the lower end of the scale. So, what is it that you can expect for smells and tastes when it comes to Nebbiolo? Cherry, rose, leather, anise, and clay pot. Those are the ones that are most likely to come out to you. In order to cut down, round out the tannic nature of the wine, what you can do is pair it with creamy, cheesy dishes with like high fat content. That'll make the experience a little bit more pleasurable if tannin is really not your thing. So if you're a fan of something like, say, Cabernet Sauvignon, or like Pinot Noirs that come from cool climate regions like Burgundy, France, you might want to give this bold, in-your-face Italian red wine a try. Anyway, this is Mark, your Madison Cork Dork. My lessons will pick up again on Monday. I'm not specifically sure at what time because I will be going into work for a little bit. Ideally should be 3 o'clock, but I'll get a better idea during the day. And on Monday, I'll actually discuss how on earth did I even come up with this desire to be a cork dork wine geek. I refuse the term snob. And exactly how you can learn about wine as well on your own. So again, this is Mark, your Madison Cork Dork, just wrapped up Nebbiolo. And if you have $40 to spare, go pick up a bottle. And as always, thanks for watching.